Now at 4, temperatures overnight will drop into the 20s for some, teens for others, and a few unlucky folks down into the single digits.
Oof. The Big Ten championship game coming up Saturday. We're going to tell you how you can get involved even if you won't be in the stadium.
Plus, we've seen the map. Now we're hearing from Indiana state lawmakers whose constituents would be impacted if they move forward with redistricting. We've got it. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Hey everybody, we begin at 4 o'clock with colder temperatures and more snow making its way into central Indiana later tonight. Tomorrow morning, as you just heard Rob talk about, it could be feeling like the single digits in some places.
Did I just see the numbers drop on the graphic?
Yes,
They just went lower and lower. Meteorologist Rob Ellis is here, starting us off in the Weather Center tonight because we're due for a change.
Yeah, it's just the cold temperatures are gonna stay with us, and if you get any bit of clearing tonight with the snowpack that we have on the ground, temperatures are just gonna be able to drop pretty quickly. So let's start with where we are currently. Those temperatures expected to warm back up, but this is what I want to show you, the current temperatures, because those are into the 20s for the most part. There's a few spots that have been able to make it up to 30 degrees, but those are few and far between, and I think these 20s will drop once we lose the heating of the day, what little bit you could say there was today. And we may have some snow showers for tonight. Now, we've had relatively uneventful days when it comes to the radar for today, but there have been a couple of areas that do have some snow showers. More snow showers are to the north and west. There's not a lot with this system as it's battling some drier air, but I think as it moves through tonight, a little bit of light snow, maybe anywhere from a dusting to a half an inch for most of you, but I think there could be a couple of spots that pick up as much as an inch, or maybe a couple of isolated spots that pick up more. Look at the temperatures here, expecting to drop down into the teens, but with the wind chills, because it is going to stay a bit breezy, we could see some single-digit wind chills before they rebound tomorrow only into the 20s. It will remain a very cold next several days, really. Not expecting a big warm-up anytime soon. There's that chance for a little bit of snow overnight tonight. Continuing through the morning, this could make for a nasty morning commute, although the amounts should be light and it should be spread out over the course of the entire night. Tonight, snow less than 1 inch possible for most of you, and low temperature of 16 degrees. As far as traffic is concerned, one area that we're watching on the west side here, 465 southbound, just before you get to Interstate 70, so approaching the airport here, looks like there's a huge slowdown. Let's hit a couple of traffic cameras and show you what to expect. This is Interstate 70 approaching 465 on the southwest side. Traffic is flowing nicely there, and again, no weather concerns at the moment. There is an issue here right at 465 at Sam Jones Parkway. There was a vehicle that looks like it maybe had a little bit of a spin out there on the exit ramp. This is right at Sam Jones Expressway. I'll keep an eye on the roads and the weather. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, you do that. Thank you so much, Rob. We appreciate you. And folks, it's almost time. Okay, we are just 3 days away from the Big Ten football championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And we're seeing signs that it's coming. This sign right here, going up downtown celebrating the big game, and the Indiana Hoosiers taking on Ohio State. The Ohio State.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you have
got
to
to
say
add the Ohio State this Saturday at 8 o'clock. This is going to be huge. Indy hosting the big game, first of all, and then our own IU Hoosiers in the game and in it for the very first time. So we're expecting thousands of IU football fans downtown.
But the Buckeye fans, they know how to get loud too.
They do.
Samantha Johnson joins us now with a look at all the hype. Was this a tough story for you being a Hoosier?
Listen, this was a lot of fun. And I will say it was kind of eye-opening too when we talk about the price of some of these tickets, because I checked Ticketmaster just a few moments ago because I'm curious what tickets are going for at this point. I can tell you at this point in the afternoon, I checked just a couple minutes ago, still going at $667.
$667 a ticket.
Yeah, so be mindful of that if you're looking for tickets. And I also
played in the Big Ten football championship game. Ohio State hasn't been here in several years, so just making sure that we deliver the best product possible is absolutely at the top of mind right now.
You might be asking, why is this game so expensive? Why is it hard to get into? This is a massive matchup, like we mentioned, between the top two teams in the Big Ten and the top two teams in the country. Ohio State #1, Indiana #2. And Saturday, downtown Indianapolis, of course, the 15th Big Ten championship title is on the line. So the fans, they tell us this is all about experience coming into downtown Indianapolis. So as those signs continue to go up, I want you to keep a couple things in mind.
Okay.
All the activations that are typically out on Georgia Street, there's a lot lot of construction there this year. So those have all been moved inside. So that Big Ten Fan Fest starts Friday. It'll all be inside the Indiana Convention Center. If you do have a ticket to the game, if you're one of the lucky ones, you can get into that Fan Fest for free. You don't have to buy a ticket, but you can also buy them at the door, and there are discounts for kids.
Okay, and I know there are also official watch parties, not only for IU, but also the Ohio State as well.
For both teams, this is important. So Hoosiers, there's a couple places you can go downtown. Kilroy's, Social Cantina, and the Tap, all downtown. Those are the places you can go. Buckeyes, your official watch party is all the way up in Fishers. It's at Walk On Sports Bistro, just off 116th Street.
Well, they're welcome because we're Hoosiers, but as long as they know they are a guest.
Okay, yeah.
They are a guest.
They got to stay up on the north side.
Yes,
Okay.
act accordingly as a guest, Buckeyes.
And thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
All right, IU head coach Kurt Cignetti is back-to-back Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Just a year after leading the Hoosiers to the college football playoff, he has the team in prime position for another appearance. IU is undefeated, as we mentioned, 12-0 in the regular season.
We like saying that over
We
and
do.
over
We'll
again.
say it a few times. Ranked second in the country. The Hoosiers are 18-2 in Coach Cignetti's first 2 years in Bloomington. Just incredible.
And you might remember, he signed an 8-year extension to stay with the Hoosiers earlier this year, worth more than $90 million. My goodness.
IU alum across the country. So we like this guy. We got to keep him. What can we do to keep him?
He's living up to every dollar, so good for him, good for Hoosiers. So many IU fans are hyped for the game on Saturday.
And that includes a super fan that we found on campus. As Jenny Runovich shows us, his office is basically a memorabilia museum for the Hoosiers. Take a look.
Perhaps no one's more excited for the Big Ten championship game than the man who runs the IU Surplus store here in Bloomington. This is basically a huge warehouse that houses everything that you can buy that IU gets rid of, from electronics and uniforms to furniture and office supplies. But you've got to check out Todd Reed's office. It is a shrine to IU athletics. Take a look. He is a super fan. Pennants and helmets, bobbleheads and coats. He's been collecting memorabilia from IU for 3 decades. And he says to see IU football have such a turnaround, become such a powerhouse, to feel the excitement on campus for this team is the thrill of a lifetime.
And I walked around with goosebumps all day, just being in the atmosphere and being on campus and being around it all. It means the world to me and all the football fans. I'll be cheering on, probably wearing a helmet, maybe some pom-poms. I mean, it'll be a sight to see, but I'll be there rooting them on.
Of course, he is predicting IU will win on Saturday in a close one with Ohio State. Also, Todd says he is not just a super fan, he's super blessed. Tonight at 6, we'll share the health turnaround he's making, the battle he faced that mirrors the winning ways of his Hoosiers. In Bloomington, Jenny Runovich, 13 News.
Thank you, Jenny. What a collection. Can't wait to see the rest of the story later tonight. Hey, let's talk about pro football now. The Colts gearing up for a big-time divisional showdown this weekend. The team is traveling down to Jacksonville to take on the Jags.
And Indianapolis has not won in Jacksonville since 2014. But they are trying to turn the tide. The team will be doing so with a new kicker. Earlier this week, the Colts waived kicker Michael Badgley. Today, they made it official with the signing of former New Orleans Saint Blake Grupe. Grupe addressing the media today on the opportunity to sign with the Colts.
First of all, it's been awesome to watch this team and everything that this team's been working towards, with everything that's gone on this year with them, and being able to watch that from afar. And so it's been awesome to see this team grow and have success, and that maybe not people didn't expect. So, but to now be a part of it, and feel like I'm playing meaningful football, and that we're all working towards something here together.
Grupe went to Notre Dame and will make his debut with the Colts this Sunday. Kind of a homecoming for him. That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Nice to have him back. All right, some of the other headlines now as state lawmakers take up congressional redistricting this month. Indiana's senior senator says he still believes there will not be enough votes to make it happen.
The White House has been leaning on Republican states like Indiana to redraw their districts to favor Republican candidates so the GOP can keep the majority in Congress next year. While House Speaker Todd Houston has said there's enough support to pass the measure in his chamber, Senator Ron Alting says he doesn't think it'll survive on his side. So we talked with our reporter. He actually talked with our reporter Emily Longnecker about it this afternoon.
It's your understanding that the votes still aren't there. You think that this might not get through next week.
I know it's not going to get through. The votes aren't there. There's, everyone's been talking about transparency and this and that. Nothing has changed. It's the same. It's the same as it was when we came in a couple months ago and started discussing this. The votes is not. Hoosiers got great values, and the threats and all that to my colleagues on the other side has done nothing but make them dig in even stronger. It's had a reverse effect on it.
He's talking there about those threats against at least 11 lawmakers the last few weeks on both sides of the issue. Coming up tonight at 5, why Alting says he still plans to vote in favor of redistricting. And you're also going to hear from a fellow Republican senator who does not. Senator Spencer Deary explains why the newly proposed maps would be bad for communities like his. State leaders announced a settlement today in a lawsuit against the federal government, and it all has to do with preventing people who are not citizens from voting. Indiana, along with 3 other states, had sued to get access to modernized verification tools to be able to scan the voter rolls to make sure there are no non-citizens registered to vote. Indiana's Attorney General and Secretary of State both announced today, now that they have those records, access to those records, they confirmed at least 165 non-citizens were registered to vote in Indiana, and 21 had actually cast a ballot in recent elections.
One Indianapolis public school is getting a makeover. School leaders cut the ribbon at George Julian School 57, and the over 100-year-old building is getting new enhancements to its exterior and interior. All of this to improve safety in students' learning environments. Those improvements include updated lighting, key student areas, and modernized campus entrances. But Principal Camille Haley tells us her favorite update is
the carpet in the school. We have the same carpet throughout the classrooms that had carpet, and in our media center and front office, so we're definitely excited to have upgraded carpets because, we had a 100-year-old building.
So these improvements to School 57 were funded through IPS's Rebuilding Stronger plan, and that is a $410 million investment. Our kids deserve the best, so how wonderful.
It's looking good. The president announced sweeping immigration changes following the attack on 2 National Guard members in D.C. Still ahead today at 4:30, hear from people now living in Indiana who could be among those impacted. Rob?
Well, as long as the cold air stays with us, snow chances, pesky though they may be, are going to stay with us. Tomorrow, though, mainly in the morning, afternoon highs in the 20s. Talk about how low we'll go tomorrow night coming up.
Plus, Russia and Ukraine still working on a deal to end the war. What's holding that deal up and what's next?